I hope it's different in the sense that I hope that governments are able to handle it better. I think part of what you're saying is true, that governments end up stifling innovation because they just don't understand, or they just don't have the capacity to figure out how technology can improve cities or how they should be regulated. I hope that we get to a point where governments embed innovation into its business, basically. Should we have a civic innovation office or a chief technology office who is able to find these technology solutions, get proactive, and figure out how to embed technology into every government functions? I don't think we're doing a good enough job right now. I think it's because at the end of the day, political leaders, they're only looking up until their next election or maybe the election after that. That's so short term. While tech is actually looking way further down the road. How are we going to solve these problems? Oftentimes, tech takes years to build, and they're in it for the long game. Some of them will not survive and some of them will. How does government keep up with that? And the other thing I would say with tech also is, even though they're thinking about the long game, they're constantly innovating. Think about Uber. It started as a rides company, but now it was delivering takeout, and now it's delivering everything like groceries, flowers, anything you want. Can government keep up with that as well? I think the answer is no at the moment, unfortunately. I hope that's not the situation down the road, because I really do believe in government needing to be there as the regulatory body to protect public interest, but I don't think they're doing a good enough job right now.
I think you need to have some kind of check and balance system. Government, even though they move very slow, still act or are supposed to do that. And I think they do that. With Uber, it's just the importance of storytelling and communicating your story. I remember when Uber first existed and they were just going from city to city, just essentially asking for forgiveness. We're going to do this and we're going to ask for forgiveness. The story was, the taxi industry was, this is going to be bad for everybody, blah, blah, blah. Reading this on the outside, it was totally believable. But let me tell you, using the product for rides and Uber Eats, especially as a parent, it is a magical experience. I'm glad that Uber pushed their way through and got cities to agree to use them.
Uber is just a really good example of what you're talking about, because with Uber, it was a new idea and there was no regulations around them. So it's not like they were doing anything wrong. There's no rules around them, right? Cities had to figure out, how are they going to regulate Uber? That's what governments are trying to figure out. Each city is going to look different, of course, because each city has something is very unique. Some cities took longer. Some decided, no, we just don't want Uber at all. I think some cities who were successful in bringing on Uber was more of, well, this is happening anyways, so we need to figure out how we're going to regulate it to protect public interest and protect public safety. Where cities just banned it, that's not really thinking in the future at all, because it's not just Uber, there's Lyft, there's going to be other tech that's going to come up. So how do we think about the future? I think, to your point, this is the issue that governments are having.